This video is going to cover everything you need to know about paragliding in Cape Town, so let's get into it. Hey, what's up? My name's Amy if you're new here, and I'm a travel content creator working from different parts of the world year-round. I spent 6 months working from Cape Town at the start of my digital nomad journey and absolutely loved it. I ended up paragliding in Cape Town on one of my last days there, which we'll get into in a little bit, and it was so fun, so let's get into the details. So the typical starting point for paragliding in Cape Town is either from Signal Hill or from Lion's Head. Lion's Head is further up than the Signal Hill start, so it's a more thrilling jump. However, you don't really have a say on whether or not you'll get to jump from Lion's Head because it all has to do with wind, and you pretty much have to be lucky. At the time of filming this, you'll pretty much expect to pay around 1,800 Rand for any of the companies that offer paragliding in Cape Town. I'd always recommend shopping around a little and seeing what different companies can offer you because you never know if they have a discount or some sort of promo going on. Keep in mind that most of these companies will expect you to pay in cash on arrival, however they do offer card usually, but for an extra fee. It's recommended that you wear closed-toed shoes, pants, a sweater, and just anything to protect you from the wind because it is going to be really windy, especially because Cape Town in general is just a really windy city. You don't need to bring anything else with you, but if you happen to have a purse or a backpack or anything like that, your instructor can take it with them and put it in the bag that they end up wearing when you go paragliding. That way when you get to the bottom, you have all of your things with you and you don't have to go back up to the start of Signal Hill or Lion's Head. I honestly found it pretty tame, but keep in mind that I've been skydiving in Australia, bungee jumping in New Zealand, and bungee jumping in South Africa, so I have a pretty good tolerance to height and don't have too many fears around that. You don't get that sinking feeling in your stomach like you do if you're on a roller coaster or you're bungee jumping, so that's something you don't have to worry about at all. I seriously don't think there's a better place to paraglide than in Cape Town because it's one of the most beautiful cities ever, and you can just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. When I decided I wanted to go paragliding in Cape Town, I had no idea which company to choose because there are so many options, and to be honest, after a lot of research, they kind of all offer the same price. With the price not really being much of a determining factor here, you're left with a bunch of different companies and not really knowing which one to go with. I sent a few of these companies messages to see when I could come and fly with them, just to see what their rates would be and everything like that. Not many of them got back to me or took a while to get back to me, but then Andre from Sky Safari Adventures got back to me super quickly and was a lot of help. This isn't a sponsored post or anything, I just had a really great experience flying with him and he was just amazing to work with. He was the first person to get back to my message and was very professional. He also worked with my schedule to find a time that would be the most suitable for me before I was leaving the country. I'm not gonna lie, I just about gave up on my dream of wanting to go paragliding in Cape Town. I initially wanted to go at the start of April for my birthday, but the weather just wasn't cooperating. I had been in touch with Andre every few days to see if we could find a time that worked, but it was just always too windy and the conditions weren't good, or if they were good, I had to work and things were just getting in the way. Paragliding is a time-sensitive experience because it is so reliant on the wind, so if it doesn't work right away and you're in the middle of work and you can't get away, it can be a little bit tricky. Throughout this whole experience, Andre was extremely patient with me and tried to find a new time to coordinate with me. This is why I'd recommend to book paragliding at the very start of your trip in Cape Town. That way you have plenty of time to make sure you find a day with good wind and good conditions to go. So as a fluke and out of nowhere, Andre got in touch with me the day or two before I was actually leaving the country. I was working from a cafe in Sea Point and catching up with a friend when I got a message from him saying it was go time. And you better believe that I hopped in an Uber and drove my butt over to Signal Hill as fast as I could. When I got to the top of the hill, he was there as well. He was prepared. He grabbed all my things, explained how the experience would work, and then we were taking off like 5 minutes later. Because I was coming with all my work stuff, he packed up my laptop and backpack and all of that and put it into the bag with the harness. Then once I got the harness on and was ready to go, they made me walk down to the edge of Signal Hill, and then we had to run off, but it was more of like a walk off. The instructor was great, and he was just telling me about his experience flying while we were drifting in and around like over the sea and everything, and it was such a good experience. He even let me take control of the parachute and pull on the different levers to twist us and do circles, and he instructed me throughout the whole time. After getting many different photos and videos on his GoPro, he took us down over the water above Sea Point, and we did a few really fast turns, and then we landed on the grass below. The landing was incredibly smooth, and the entire experience lasted between 15 and 20 minutes, but keep in mind that this does vary depending on the wind. If you're scared of heights, you might be a little bit scared to do paragliding, which is completely understandable. However, you don't need to be too worried. I personally found it to be very tame, but keep in mind that I've been skydiving once and bungee jumping twice. So that's just a super quick video about paragliding in Cape Town. Let me know if you've done paragliding before anywhere in the world, or if you've done it in Cape Town and what your experience was like. I'd love to know. And please send me a message if you end up going with Sky Safari Adventures and with Andre, because a few of you guys have done that after seeing a video on TikTok, and I just love knowing that I promoted his little business because he was such a good instructor, and it was a great time and something I think everyone should do when they're in Cape Town. If you want more Cape Town content, make sure you check out the next video on being a digital nomad in Cape Town, and I'll see you next week.